Now, for the next couple of segments, our panel of attorneys will join us to take a look at some high-profile legal cases in the news. And let's start by introducing the trio. James Kousouros, criminal defense attorney in Manhattan, sits on the board of directors of the New York City Criminal Bar Association. He also frequently lectures at New York Law School, the bar associations in Queens and New York City and beyond. Doug von Oiste, the founding partner of Carson von Oiste, focusing on corporate misconduct and selected by the Legal 500 as one of the most influential trial lawyers in the country. And Mayo Bartlett, an attorney at the law offices of Mayo Bartlett PLC and former chief of the Bias Crimes Unit at the Westchester County DA's office, all three of them former prosecutors. In a minute, arrests finally have been made in the case of the missing mom in Connecticut who disappeared last spring. But first, it is day 3 of the Harvey Weinstein trial in Manhattan. The disgraced movie mogul facing a litany of rape and sexual abuse charge in New York and in the LA District Attorney's office. They've also just charged Weinstein. Prosecutors in LA say they will start their Weinstein trial once the one in New York wraps up, but Weinstein's legal troubles go beyond U.S. borders. Police in both London and Dublin, they're investigating Weinstein for possible sex crimes. Also, Weinstein, he's close to a $25 million settlement that will resolve most of the civil litigation he's now facing. All right, Jimmy, is it any way that he could have bundled all these and done them at once? I know there's multiple jurisdictions, but is it going to be one after the other after the other?
Well, it has to be because there are multiple jurisdictions. It's state court. You know, sometimes federal cases are brought and they're done in one jurisdiction, but if there are ties to other jurisdictions and you follow the rules, you can try them all in one jurisdiction. But no, in terms of New York, then California, and then clearly if there are other cases and that there'll be extradition issues and whether or not if he's convicted and sentenced to prison, the issue is whether or not the United States will even release him prior to serving his sentence to go abroad to face trial. But he's got many, many months, if not years, ahead of him.
There was a sense, Doug, when we heard this civil settlement, that his legal troubles, if not behind him, but that he cleared a major hurdle. I don't see what hurdle he cleared. He's now looking at all these criminal cases.
Well, the criminal cases are probably his bigger problem. I mean, if he, with all these different state cases, if he is found guilty in one of them, it becomes really a sentencing issue, really, because then he'll go to the other jurisdictions and he'll have to make the decision whether it's worth fighting a case when he's going to get sentenced in another one. As far as the civil goes, they put a big pot of money together. It doesn't mean, though, that some of those people aren't going to say, I don't want anything to do with this settlement. I'm going to go to court against you.
Plus, it was the insurance company, if I understand it correctly, that paid the money.
That's right. It wasn't him. It was all firm and through the insurance through it. Mayo, I don't see a scenario here with all these women coming forward, such similar allegations. I know the burden is everyone's innocent until proven guilty, and there's a lot of time ignoragnum between these cases, but the pattern, there's a lot of reminiscence here of what happened with Bill Cosby.
Absolutely. The pattern's going to be very difficult, but even the presumption of innocence is
gone.
It's gone.
How do you get, by the way, how do you impanel a jury that doesn't know or doesn't come in with a fully formed idea?
Even if you have a case where the person's anonymous, it's difficult to get a jury that really presumes you're innocent. If you actually talk to those jurors and you poll those jurors and ask them, do you think the person must have done something because they're charged, almost unanimously they'll say yes, even after they've been admonished by the judge that you're to presume the person is innocent. So it's just something natural in most people. Now, when you take that, you couple that with the fact that there's all this talk about a settlement, a lot of people believe that if you've settled something, you're guilty as well. So by the time you get finished watching all of the footage, and even the way that sometimes we cover it on television, it's not that he's alleged to have done it, but it's that he did it.
And by the way, guys, who am I thinking of? Was it Jimmy the Chin? Who was the mobster who came out looking like he was a shell of his former self? I was waiting for the bathrobe with Weinstein when he was walking out there with obviously, you know, the debilitated version thereof. Who was it? Was it Jimmy the Chin?
Vinny the Chin.
Vinny the Chin, I'm sorry.
The FBI went to his house and they found him in the shower with a bathrobe and an umbrella. And they bought it for a while.
That's key, for a while. All right. Now, we're going to head to Connecticut and to the case of Jennifer Dulos. She's the mother of 5, and she disappeared last May. Police, they've arrested her estranged husband, his girlfriend, and also his former attorney. 8 months after Connecticut mother Jennifer Dulos vanished, her estranged husband, Fotis Dulos, is now charged with her murder. Dulos, arraigned this afternoon, was taken into custody in his home yesterday, and he's being held on $6 million bond.
We are very confident in our odds at trial, and we look forward to meeting these allegations in open court beginning tomorrow morning.
Leading up to her disappearance, Jennifer and Fotis Dulos had been locked in a vicious divorce and custody battle. In an arrest warrant, investigators revealing new details in how they think Fotis carried out Jennifer's murder. Police say security video shows a man they believe to be Dulos riding a bicycle toward Jennifer's home the day that she vanished. Police think when she returned home, Dulos was lying in wait. The warrant also alleging he used zip ties to secure and incapacitate Jennifer, whose blood police say was found in multiple locations in the home. From the beginning, Dulos has maintained that he had nothing to do with his wife's disappearance.
It's an exhausting fight. I love my children. That's about it.
Alongside Fotis Dulos, his girlfriend, Michelle Troconis. She's now been charged with conspiracy to commit murder. The pair, they've already been fighting charges of evidence tampering and hindering prosecution after police say security footage appears to show the couple disposing of Jennifer's blood-stained clothing.
It is clear that prosecutors believe she was very involved, and I think a very serious charge like this may lead her, if they want to cut a deal.
Doug, no body. I know you don't need a body. We've talked about this in the program before, but does that make it hard to secure a conviction?
Of course it does, because, you know, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So if there's any doubt that this person could be living, there's alternate scenarios that a person could have just gone away, wanted a different life, ran away with somebody. The case law goes back to the 1600s, where 2 men were hung, and then all of a sudden the young girl that they supposedly killed came back, and that's where the rules kind of kicked around. So when you can say to a jury, listen, that person could come through those doors at any moment, that's powerful.
The time from when the allegations, when she disappeared, the allegations first surfaced till now, is that common, Mayo, that you have that big a breadth of time before people are finally charged?
Oh, you can. You can have even longer than that. Sometimes people are charged based on forensics, so you may not get all of the information until maybe even a decade or longer afterwards. What's a bit odd here is that they're fairly specific in the allegations. So they're saying that you have her blood in particular locations. Then they're even going so far as to say what the instrument was that caused the death, that it was either a blunt force object or else something that was a blade. And it's very difficult to understand how they can reach that conclusion without having the body.
Jimmy, the attorney, that's one of the 3 here. What's going on there?
You know, obviously this was also somebody with whom he was very close who just went off the rails. I mean, it's inconceivable. This is his legal counselor who is alleged to have helped him bury the body.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a clear line. You don't bury the body, but what's the rule in terms of, as a defense attorney, you're supposed to give the most vigorous defense of your client here, but where is the line? Is it a gray area where you can't cross to help your client, or is it pretty black and white?
Look, to me, it's black and white. You have to, you know, posit a vigorous defense. You have to do it in good faith. You don't put witnesses on that you know to be lying or have reason to believe are lying. You put forward the best defense. You keep all the client's words to you and statements to you in utter and complete confidence. But, you know, I'm sorry, that's a line that, it's not a line, it's a wall that you have to break through.
Grabbing a shovel, no one's gonna,
you know, but anything like that, you know, helping your client, you know, evade law enforcement, helping your client dispose of proceeds as opposed to a body. I mean, that is a very, very bright line. And, you know, there's an old rule that our mentors always taught us and that we try to teach the young lawyers. You're a lawyer. That's what you are. Don't get too close to your client. Don't, you know, these are not, it can be a friend, although you should watch that, but you are the lawyer, okay? And you have to stay as such. You know, these meeting in restaurants and going out to dinner and you know, confiding in all of your secrets beyond the case. I used to always tell my clients, here's my office. You want to talk to me? This is where you come to. We talk about your case. We talk about it in confidence. Don't ask me to do anything because I won't. Don't ask me to tell anybody anything. Don't ask me to give a message to a witness or anything like that. It's just common sense. It just is.
And we'll continue, obviously, to follow this case. All right, When we come back, no smokers need apply. U-Haul is kicking off the new year with a new policy. It will not hire nicotine users in 21 states, including, by the way, not just smokers and vapors, but even people with a patch. Is this, let alone a slippery slope, is this legal? We'll get into that and more after this.